This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, Freilichen Chanukah, everyone. Shalom Aleichem. Tonight, Matzai Shabbos, Rosh Chodesh Teves. The Ben Ish Chai tells us in Shana Rishona, Parshas Vayeshev, Ois Chav Ches, he says there's a minhag tonight to light a ner neshama lilo nishmas Rabbi Meir Bal Hanes. He says minhagenu lahadlik shemen lemar lekavod nishmas Rabbi Meir Bal Hanes chusa yogan aleinu b'yoyim Rosh Chodesh Teves. So there's a minhag to light tonight a Yahrtzeit lecht for Rabbi Meir Bal Hanes. This is also brought in the Sefer Moed L'Chol Chai Reb Chaim Pelagi Siman Chav Zayin Ois Ayin Vav. And we've discussed over the years the connection between Rabbi Meir Bal Hanes and Chanukah. The Marshan Avodah Zarah says that the whole tefillah of Elokad Meir Aneni is referencing the miracle of Chanukah, that the Rebbe Shem illuminated for us in the times of Chanukah, and may He always illuminate for us. We've also brought that many suggest that Rabbi Meir's Yahrtzeit is Rosh Chodesh Chanukah, because the Ben Ish Chai doesn't tell us the reason to light a Yahrtzeit lecht lekavod Rabbi Meir. But Rav Pinchas Zavichi suggests that in fact Rabbi Meir's Yahrtzeit is Chanukah. Last year we brought out, and Bezos Hashem maybe in the new edition of Elokad Meir Aneni, we have to get around to that. We'll add it to the Sefer. But the Balaturim writes on the pasuk in Zayis HaBracha, Ula Asher Amar Baruch Mi Banim Asher Yehi Ritzoy. Mi Banim Asher Yehi Ritzoy is Rosh Tevois Meir. Why? Because there's a lot of oil in the share of Asher. And oil is Meir Peneim and Meir Lemanoira. So the Balaturim doesn't say that this is connected to the Tanura Meir. He just says that in the pasuk of the bracha to Asher, we have a remez to Meir because Asher had shemen. Now we know from the Rishonim already, the reason why Chanukah is 8 days is because it took them 8 days to produce the oil, because they had to go to the share of Asher to be able to get the shemen. But according to what we're saying, that Rav Meir's Yahrtzeit is on Chanukah, and there's a deep connection between the Tefillah Elokad Meir Aneni and Rav Meir and Chanukah. So it comes out very beautiful that Rabbi Meir is merumaz in the pasuk that speaks about Asher. So I just want to speak for a few minutes on a few new ideas. We're all familiar with the Gemara in Masechta Gittin that Nero Kezar was dispatched to destroy the Beis Hamikdash, and he shot an arrow in every direction, and it landed in Yerushalayim. Then he met a child, and he asked the child, "Please tell me your pasuk." And he said, "Well, the Rebbe Shem says you will be successful in destroying the Beis Hamikdash, but then I'm going to wipe the floor with you. Then I'm going to destroy you." So Nero and Kezar said, "What? The Rebbe Shem wants me to do his dirty work, and then he's going to punish me." The Gemara says, "Arak, he fled. Azal, he left. Va'agayer, he converted. V'nafak minei Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Meir came out from him." Says the Ben Ish Chai in the Ben Yehoyada and Get to Nun Vav. Because Nero and Kezar did not destroy the Beis Hamikdash, which the Gemara Baba Basra calls Oiroi Shaloilam, the light of the world, he was zoicha that from him would come out the light of the world, namely the great Tana Rabbi Meir. Furthermore, Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen writes, and this is brought in the Sefer Mibei Midrasha to Rabbi Meir Bal Hanes. He writes in the Sefer, and it's quoted in the Sefer Tiferes Yisrael, that when Yaakov Avinu said that Anoichi Esav B'chayrecha, I am Esav your Bechar, how could Yaakov lie like that? So, of course, Rashi says, well, you have to know how to put the punctuation. Anoichi, I am I, and Esav's your Bechar. But it's suggested as follows. One of the reasons why Yitzchak loved Esav, Kitzayid Bepiv, that Arizal says there were neshamas in the mouth of Esav. That's one of the reasons that Arizal writes in Oivadya why Esav's head is buried in the Maras HaMachpelah, because the neshama of Rabbi Meir was on the lips of Esav. So Yaakov was saying, Anoichi, It belongs to me, Esav b'chayrecha. Your choice of Esav is only because of the Tana Reb Meir, but Anoichi, he belongs to me. He's mine. You think that Reb Meir descends from Esav. Yeah, he does biologically, but spiritually, he's my spiritual heir. So Anoichi, it is I that Esav b'chayrecha. What you see in Esav, Anoichi, it really belongs to me. By the way, the Ben Ish Chai says on the Gemara in Chagiga Tesvava Mebeza, it says, how could Meir learn from Acher? Rimoin Matzah, he found a Rimoin. If you spell Rimoin, Reish Yud Mem Vav Nun, it's Oitzios Niron, as in Niron Kezar. Because in Atbash, Mem and Nun are interchangeable. So if you interchange the Mem for a Nun, the letters Rimoin are really Niron. So I want to tell you one more beautiful remez. This is brought in the Sefer of the Lev Aryeh, page 89 to 90 of the Rabbi Yehuda Aryeh Leib Hashki. He brings an amazing idea. He says that we're all familiar when the pasuk says Vayira Yaakov Ma'od Vayetzer Lai, and Rashi says Yaakov was afraid Shema Yaharog Acherim, lest Yaakov kill Acherim, which many Svarim say refers to if he would kill Esav, he would destroy the Tana Reb Meir, who was known as Acherim. So, says the Lev HaAryeh, an amazing remez. He says on the pasuk in Nitzavim, Parak Chav Tes pasuk Mem Aleph, V'yamar Hadoyer Ha'acharoin B'neichem Asher Yakumu Me'acharechem V'hanachri Asher Yavai Mei Eretz V'chayka, that the words Asher Yavai Mei Eretz V'chayka is Rashi Tevois Meir. And he explains as follows, that Niron Kezar was in the Dara Achroin before the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. And he was a Nachri, and he was Nisgayer, and he became a Ger Tzedek, and he's called Meir. So the Pasuk, V'yomar Hadar Ha'acharoin. That could be a remez to Achirim, but the Amar Adar Achrin in the last generation, who's going to be Asher V'hanachri? He's going to be a guy. This guy, Asher Yavai Me'eretz V'chayka, he's going to come from far. He's going to turn into Meir. Listen to the remez. V'Amar Hadar Achrin, in the last generation before the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed, there'll be a Nachri, and he will be Asher Yavai Me'eretz V'chayka. He will come from a faraway land. Asher Yava Meir Tzurchayka Rashi Tevois Meir. So if I could humbly suggest a different remez, namely, what's Reb Meir's great shita that ben kach nikru banim? Even in the last generation before Mashiach comes, that will be on such a low level, even then will be called B'neichem? Yes. V'amar hadar ha'achroin. Who's going to say that in the final generation, B'neichem, that we're still Banim Lamakim? Who's going to say, V'amar Hadar Ha'achroin? Who's going to say in the last generation, B'neichem? You know who's going to say that Asher Yavai Me'eretz V'chayka, that even if you're very far away, Asher Yavai Me'eretz V'chayka is Meir. Because in the world of Rameir, you could always come close. That even in the Dar Achroin, you know who's going to say, Ve'amar Hadar Ha'achroin B'neichem? You know who's going to say in the last generation we're all Hashem's children? The answer is Asher Yavai Me'eretz V'chayka. It's the great Tana, Rebbe Meir. So, these are some thoughts on his Yahrtzeit. As we mentioned, that the minhag is to light a candle, Ilai Nishmas Rameir Balanes tonight. So, may the Zechus of the Tana be Megan, Aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael, v'imale Hashem kol mishal seinu l'toiva, a good tevach, a freilich Chanukah, a good chodesh. Thank you for joining. Shkoyach.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.